Critics are calling it the most sexually confusing book they've ever read. Glenn Yankum from the New York Times writes, "I never knew sheep masks could be so erotic." So follow the buzzards. Insert yourself into a publishing phenomenon and pre-order 50 Shades of Grey.
Support WrestleTalk!
Donate on Patreon. Sami Zayn explains himself, Luke Harper and Erick Rowan are still with the company, and Bobby Roode's promo is not glorious. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the 10th of October 2017 edition of SmackDown Live in about 4 minutes. The Usos and New Day opened SmackDown with a show of respect, an Us truce, really putting over how brutal their Hell in a Cell match was, even though Kofi Kingston was jumping around clapping despite losing the championships 2 nights before. The Usos said, in comparison, all other SmackDown tag teams suck. This brought out the rest of the division. Don't worry, I forgot SmackDown had other teams too, like the Hype Bros, back of the line, the Ascension, back of the line, Breezeango, back of the... actually they're pretty cool, and American Beta, back of the line. A very angry Daniel Bryan, wonderfully selling the main event fallout from Hell in a Cell, booked a #1 contenders match between the 4 teams, which American Beta won. It was a very fun match which juggled multiple stories. The Ascension saving fan favourites Breezango, and the Hype Bros continued implosion. SmackDown's tag division is actually really good. Hopefully we'll get to see more of it now the New Day and Usos' fantastic feud is over. Referencing their all-time great welcoming committee faction, Natalya gloated backstage to Tamina and Carmella about beating Charlotte at Hell in a Cell. But uh-oh, look who's behind you! It's only the person you were just insulting behind their back. Charlotte, Becky Lynch and Naomi scuffled with the welcoming committee, and then Becky made Carmella tap in the following match. Victorious! Kevin Owens gloated about beating Shane McMahon next, but then confessed at one point in their match he nearly died, his soul separating from his body to stand in line at the pearly gates, which of course being a heel, he cut his way to the front of. But St. Peter said SmackDown needs him and gave him a guardian angel in Sami Zayn. It was a terrific promo, riffing on KO's delusional heaven and hell theme he's had throughout the Shane feud. But we were all waiting for the explanation of someone else. Cue the still happy entrance music for the freshly healed Zayn, where he said after doing the right thing for all his career, he finally saw the light several weeks ago. He's gotta be bad to get ahead. For me, that's where the promo should have ended. But then he continued on to Shane and how McMahon wanted to end Kevin's career at Hell in a Cell. Shane is a psychopath, so that's why Sami made him lose. The crowd were getting quieter and quieter, the promos slightly overstaying its welcome. In my opinion, they should have saved the Shane stuff for a future episode. Or even better, don't have Sami explain himself at all, and just have Zayn and KO beat up everyone in the following tag match. Because otherwise, Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton beating Rusev and Aiden English was a complete throwaway, presumably only booked to give Shinsuke a win after losing to Jinder Mahal 2 nights prior. Then we finally found out where Luke Harper and Erick Rowan have been for the last 3 months. They've been bludgeoning. Move aside, realistic violent rednecks, because the props department just made 2 giant hammers. Hopefully there's more to their act, because on first impressions, the Bludgeon Brothers, the actual name they're going by, not me making up a silly one, is early 90s WWF levels of goofy. Also, the Bludgeon Brothers, BB, 2B, perhaps at one point in time, Harper and Rowan really were meant to re-debut as Breezango's attackers. Bobby Roode came out to say his debut pay-per-view match was absolutely pretty mediocre and tedious, actually. Because Bobby cheated to win on Sunday, though, Dolph Ziggler demanded a rematch. Unfortunately, Roode appeared to forget his lines, and the segment was absolutely painfully awkward. AJ Styles lost his United States title rematch clean against Baron Corbin in the main event, hopefully meaning Styles is now finished with the mid-card and he can move up to the WWE Championship picture again, which is a title so lackluster right now. Jinder Mahal was not missed at all on this show. So that was this week's SmackDown Live in about 4 minutes. Here's the usual ratings recap from top to bottom. Smack, damn smacktastic, smack bang in the middle, Ellsworthy, and where was the fashion files again? I'll reveal my score very shortly, but first, vote in the poll above my head to give yours. I'll announce the results in tomorrow's WrestleTalk news. SmackDown had a lot of momentum coming out of Sunday's Hell in a Cell, and the fantastic opening tag team segment seemed like this episode was going to continue it. But every segment afterwards ranked from average to poor, and the most exciting storyline, Sami Zayn's heel turn, was explained away in the least dramatic way possible. Oh yeah, and no pulp fashion like advertised. This week's SmackDown is Ellsworthy. What four better teams should WWE have booked for the Shield reunion? And Roman Reigns shoots on the Bullet Club. Click the videos to the left to learn more, press subscribe, and support WrestleTalk on Patreon. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.